Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel Perceptions of Injustice, where we talk everything about injustice and human behavior. So here's part 3, commentary of Wendi Adelson's cross-examination, the first one. I think the reason why we're so drawn to this case, the Adelson's family, or this case reminds us of so many dysfunctional families around us, or it could be us living in a very similar dysfunctional family, typical toxic family, and the roles that everyone takes in this dysfunctional families, and how do we play the role, us and others in the family. So it's either you have experienced something similar of a dysfunctional family, or someone that you know. It could be a cousin, it could be a neighbor, it could be a friend, could be anyone. The Adelsons took it to an extreme. If there's a spectrum for a dysfunctional family, they would be the extreme of it, because they went and took the murder path. So that's why we can benefit from listening to them and commenting on them and analyzing them. We can benefit from it in our daily lives. That's my opinion. So let's go ahead and start commenting.
Have you been keeping up with the media coverage in this case?
I don't watch any media related to this case.
Okay. But you are aware of the attention that has been brought on this case?
I'm aware only because of the constant death threats that I receive, yes.
Okay. So just to specify, you haven't watched any of the specials that have been on air about this case?
I have not watched any of them.
Do you know if your parents have watched any of the specials on this case?
I advise them not to. They may have seen bits of them, but I don't know for certain.
What about your brother Charlie?
I don't know.
Did you watch the states?
She's frustrated now with Tara Kawas. She's like, you're asking me too. I don't know. You're asking me questions that I really have no idea about. She's acting as if she sees her parents once a week, while the fact is, they have a pretty close relationship. I mean, after your husband was killed in a very dramatic way, and then you say that your brother used to say jokes like, oh, it's easier to or cheaper to get you a TV rather than hiring a hitman, and then you see all the clues together, and you, a brilliant woman, a brilliant mind, a lawyer, could not put the two together and see that most probably your family did it. I mean, you want to tell me that you don't believe your family did it? Then what? Then who? Tell us who could benefit from this, and what all of these coincidences. I mean, I know that she knows in her mind, and she still is beside her family. She's not showing us in any way that she is on the side of the legal system, on the side of what's fair. You're still with your parents on their side. So that tells us that you are accepting what they are doing. And then you come and tell us, I don't know if they watch or not. I don't know if Charlie watches TV media coverage about that or not. Like, she's bothered. She's bothered, as if Tara Kawas is nagging her, Like, I don't know, you're asking me questions, I don't know how to answer them. How do I know if Charlie is watching TV about this or not? As if she's talking about the World Cup, not about the most important and the most mind-blowing event in her life, probably, and their lives.
Opening statement in this case?
I did not.
You did not?
I did not.
Okay. So you're not aware of what the state's theory is in this case?
I'm not.
Oh, so
now, you mentioned on direct examination something about listening to some recordings that the state provided to you.
Yes.
Okay. Is that the first time you've ever listened to those recordings?
Yes.
Do you know what those recordings are about?
There are many, many recordings.
Okay. Did they give you all of the recordings?
I don't know. I listened to what I was given, but I don't know if there's more.
How much time did it take you to listen to the recordings that you were given?
Again, I didn't listen to the entire thing, so probably about an hour to go through all of the recordings and listen to excerpts of each of them.
So you're not aware if the state gave you all of the recordings that they provide, that they have in their possession?
I have no idea.
Okay. Did they have you listen to any recordings that occurred before April 19th of 2016? 2016.
So I'd have to see the document to remember the exact date on it. I do remember my birthday's in April, so I remember the dates being close to that, but I don't remember exactly.
Did they ask you to listen to the phone call where Charlie Adelson is talking to Miss McBanwell about work?
I listened to something.
So it's fair to say that they only let you listen to portions of the phone calls that they think are important.
I was given conversations and I listened to some of them to authenticate voices, but I don't know. I imagine they thought it was important for me to listen, that's why I did.
Did you listen to a phone call?
Wendi is going up there, doing an act. Her point or her goal is to convince the jury that I have nothing to do with this. They are dragging me to this and I have nothing to do. I drive a minivan and I live with my kids and I receive death threats every day and my life has been upside down every day, but I still communicate very well with my parents. I'm still very close to my parents. We don't talk about this very important event that happened in our lives that turned our lives upside down. But and I don't know anything about it. I don't know what they think. I don't know anything about it. But I still have a very close relationship to them. So Charlie was right when he said that. He was saying it to Donna that she is the princess. He truly described her very well, I think. She's the only one winning in this whole thing. She took advantage she did not like her husband, right? He's gone. She's still taking advantage of her parents, taking care of the kids and involved in taking the benefits of their involvement in her life, because when parents are that much involved in the lives of their kids in a dysfunctional family like this, they allow themselves to overstep boundaries and to control the lives of the kids under the name of, oh, I'm helping you, I'm still helping you, and this is only in this dysfunctional families, because of course loving families and loving parents can help and get involved without stepping on boundaries. But that's what they did, the parents. And even after stepping on her boundary and going behind her back and doing all of these things, she's still benefiting from the involvement in her life and the control of her life, because she has all the help that she needs. And now she's trying to make it as if you're bothering me with all of this. I have no idea. I just heard the wiretaps so I can authenticate the sound. So you just heard them. So you're saying that they made you hear them so that you say, oh yes, this is my brother's voice and this is my mother's voice and this is Catherine's voice. That's it. That's why they gave you the tapes to hear them. They gave you the tapes so they can tell you, hey, we have more to know, and you're still that close to your parents or whatever. She's trying to make it as if I'm only a witness here. I have nothing to do with all of this. I don't know what they keep letting me come to this courtroom today. An authentic response to all of that would be her going with the prosecution to solve this. But
so the question was, Ms. Adelson, did they have you listen to any phone calls where it was a conversation between your brother and your mother, if you were able to identify any conversations like this?
I think I did, yes.
Now I want to talk about the circumstances surrounding your actual divorce.
Okay.
Which I believe you said was finalized in 2013, right?
Yes.
You just left your divorce papers on a mattress of Dan Markel in the house and left out. Is that correct?
No.
How is it that you delivered the divorce papers to him?
I called him to let him know that I wanted a divorce. It wasn't the first time I asked for a divorce, but it was the last time. And told him that I would see him when he got home. Not home, but back to Tallahassee. And then I did leave the papers for him, but I didn't leave town. I was still in Tallahassee.
Okay. So he was actually aware of that you were going to be seeking a divorce before you actually delivered the papers to him?
I had asked for a divorce several months earlier.
Okay.
That's when we started going to counseling. And he told me that if I tried to get divorced from him, that I could leave with the clothes on my back and that he would take the kids and that I would be penniless. And so when I actually asked for a divorce, I thought it best not to be there.
So is it fair to say that this was not a mutual thing between the two of you, that Danny did not want a divorce?
I don't think he wanted to get divorced.
Okay, let me get this straight. You are trying to tell the jury that the reason why you left this way without him accepting the divorce, or without you and him coming to an agreement for the divorce and for the kids, just because you could not get to a solution even though you went to counseling. I mean, do you think that Dan Markel was that stubborn and that much outdated? I mean, I understand that it was a nasty divorce, and probably he wasn't at his best behavior in the divorce. She as well. They were both acting on their insecurities, their dysfunctional things, their childhood in this divorce, and they're not communicating very well. And he probably maybe said that you would leave with your clothes back on and your without your kids and penniless. Maybe he said that, but it's part of the nasty divorce. It's everyone that has been through divorce would know that people talk like that. It's normal. People talk like that when they're mad, when they're angry. But when you go to counseling and you have counseling, you have the privilege to go to counseling. You can talk to the counselor and say, hey, I want you to help me help him with the idea of the divorce, or let's get to an agreement. I mean, was he that stubborn that you were afraid for yourself and then you left in this way with the papers on the table and you just left him with the kids and everything? Was he that abusive? She's trying to make him as abusive. I was scared to leave in front of him, so I ran away. It's not working for me. I cannot imagine. I mean, I know that he can be, people in general can be toxic sometimes, especially in hard times like divorce, but I think that he had a rational mind. Dan Markel, he was a very smart person, very well educated person. He believed in science. He believed in what he did. I cannot see him as the person that she is trying to paint for the jury. She's trying to paint for the jury that Dan Markel was this, if you divorce me, I'm gonna he was. Do you want to tell me that? I mean, your mom offered $1 million for him to let you go back to Miami with the kids. You're coming from the toxic side, not him. I mean, maybe also him, but not that much.
How close is your brother's relationship, Charlie Adelson, with your mother, Donna Adelson?
I think they're close.
Would you characterize a relationship as closer than you are with your mother?
No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, I do think they talk more frequently than I do, but I don't think closeness always has to do with the frequency.
Of course, closeness has nothing to do with the frequency. It has to do with what would you do for your loved one. Her mom, allegedly, in my opinion, in so many people's opinions, and that's just an opinion, created all of this. She planned all of this. She was the master in all of this, her and Charlie, of course. She did this for you. So, no, I think my mom loves me the most. Yeah, she did all of that for me. Donna, really, really, she blows my mind that, okay, I understand that she wouldn't really think about Dan and his life and his kids. But wouldn't you think about your own kid, which is Charlie? Didn't you think for a second that this whole thing could be, that you could be caught? He could be caught? You were, you had trust in him to do this for you, implicitly or not implicitly. But don't, I mean, who does that? What kind of a mother sends her own son to do something like that so she can benefit from it? Aren't you scared that they're gonna catch Charlie, for example? It didn't cross your mind for a second that they can catch Charlie, for example? Okay, I'm gonna stop now. So this video was about Tara Kawas, mainly questioning her, cross-examining her. I hope you enjoyed this video and other videos in my channel. And if you have any comment, any question, anything, please tell me in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe and like this video if you want to. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. And I really appreciate all of your support and comments. I really do, each one of you. Thank you. Goodbye.